I learned something that you're going to want to tune into this video for. I've been researching this for 2 weeks. I couldn't get the answer, but I learned something, if you read the title, that you are going to want to stay tuned to this video to learn about, especially if you have a Qolsys IQ panel or you're thinking about buying a Qolsys IQ or IQ2 panel from one of the main brands. Now, I don't want to bash the competition, because quite honestly, the only company worth bashing out there completely is SimpliSafe. It's garbage. But I'm getting ready to tell you something that I learned. I've been in the security business for 15 years, and I learned something this week that I did not know. And I guess it's because we chose as a security company not to private brand panels several years ago. And had I really been thinking about this, had I really realized why we made the decision not to do that and why some other companies have, then I would have come to a conclusion sooner. But occasionally I just, give me the stupid tax. But we've had a number of competitors send their customers to us to buy certain products, certain peripherals, certain touchscreens, because they don't offer them and they don't sell them. They don't want to carry them. But recently it's become a real problem. Now I've got 2 older panels. Well, I've got 1 new panel, 1 older panel here, and I'm gonna show you something. If I can try to explain this, and this is gonna be a little bit longer video, but this is important. So if you're making a decision on a security system, this is really an important video to watch. If you look at this box here, I had to look to find one in our warehouse. This box here is missing a little circle here. It's missing one that I'll tell you what it is here. It's called the Power G circle. It did have the S line, but not the Power G. Now, why is that significant? Well, this panel here is over a year old. This is an IQ2 panel. They don't make these anymore. They've end-of-life these. And what came out just a couple of months ago is the new IQ2 primary panel. If you'll look, it's got a Power G circle here. It's a new technology. Now, again, this right here is about a year old. This is just a couple of months old. We do not keep the old technology on hand. We don't private brand panels. Let me tell you what I found out. So a lot of customers have called and they've ordered these secondary touch panels, these remote touch panels from us. It's an IQ2 secondary panel. And they've called and they've wanted to return them. Hey, we called this company. I won't say exactly which one. We've called X company, and they don't support them. And I said, well, what panel do you have? And they said, well, I have a Qolsys panel. Well, which one do you have? Do you have an IQ2 or an IQ panel? And a lot of times customers don't know. So I literally, in the last couple of days, spent time on the phone calling a couple of these companies, our competitors, and calling their tech support, because I'm trying to support their customers, because their customers are calling us and said, hey, we asked them about buying the panel. They told us to come to you or a secondary market to buy the panel, but now they can't support the panel. I'm going, oh my God, what is going on? Because we don't really make a bunch of money off the secondary panels. Here's what I learned. One of the companies is selling a panel that's been discontinued now for over a year. They had a special deal apparently to keep that panel still being made. The software version on that panel, and write this down, if you're out there in the market looking around, searching to buy, making a good informed decision, the software version on that panel, as high as it'll go, is 1.6, maybe dot something else, but it's a version of 1.6. Now again, they end-of-life that panel well over a year ago, but one of the main companies is still selling it. And guess what? All the new peripherals, all the new touchscreens, all the new cool stuff that people are wanting to be able to add additional things into their house, they don't work. They won't work with the panel. Now, here's what else is interesting. And look, this is the manufacturer's outside the box. And the reason we leave it on is we don't private brand a panel. The reason we don't private brand a panel is we don't have a contract. And if you decide for some reason you don't like us, you're welcome to go somewhere else. So it's really no use to us to private brand our panel. We almost never lose customers. I lost a customer this week, which is part of this story, and I'll tell you that soon. But this says Power G on it. The reason that is important is, in order to run a secondary touch panel, you need to have at least version 2.1.1 software, which this will hold. this will hold. The old panels won't even hold that software. But if you call one of the main providers, they can't support you. They're sending them to us. But we don't have the installer code to be able to help you put that secondary panel on your main panel. As you're looking for a company to buy a security system from, I highly, highly recommend that it's not a private branded software and it's not a private branded panel, because what will happen if you buy one of those, it's still a proprietary panel. You're going to have one of two things happen. It's going to be outdated to where the software is not going to run the additional things that you want to put onto that panel, okay? Or they're not going to be able to support it because these companies that have thousands and thousands and thousands of customers that are larger than us, because they spent more money on their marketing than they have on the technology and the training for their support, they can't help you. They cannot help you get the panels connected to secondary panels and peripherals. I spent 30 minutes on the phone yesterday with one of these companies after I got to the manager in tech support. And she said, you know, I'm sorry, you're right. We didn't realize this was a problem. I said, well, you're sending your customers to us to buy the secondary panels. They're coming back to you to have them connected, and you're going, we don't know how to help you. So let me make a great suggestion to you. I was going to read something from a customer here. Actually, I think I will read it. He said, thank you for responding. I have tried now for 2 weeks to get company to respond and help us with attaching this secondary panel to the main panel. I appreciate you taking the opportunity and the time to look and see if the panel is faulty. The panel's not faulty. What's faulty is the communication with this large company that sells the Qolsys panel. So I highly recommend, you'll see our URL down here, I highly recommend, go check us out. We are probably one of the best security companies in the industry because we don't private brand, we don't lock you into a contract. I want you to be a happy customer. Our tech support team wants you to be a happy customer, and we're going to support what we sell. We have a great relationship with the manufacturer. They've had the software, they've had the pieces out now for several months that work just fine. But quite honestly, if you're looking at a company that can't support you, you might as well have hung a brick on your wall. Check out the URL. Please go to the website. Right now we're running a couple of specials. If you register, you can also get specials from us as they come out on a regular basis. Thank you for watching the video. I hope this made sense to you. Don't forget, if you're looking for a security panel, watch the video again. If there's some questions you have, I think it'll help you in making those decisions. Thanks.